So Barry, I understand that you were in Chicago and you were at a housing symposium and you were discussing a lot of interesting topics, but I think one of the main things we want to talk about today is millennials. That's a big question about what they want, where they're going, if they're going to be buying housing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you're right, Amy, and coming back from a conference in Chicago and being able to be part of such a groundswell for these millennials is great. You know, they're the largest generation we've had yet. And they've proven to be serious buyers. Over 31% make up your first-time home buyers, and over 20% are move-up buyers. And what the big takeaway was is that these individuals not only want the dream of homeownership, but it's very reminiscent of the way our parents and our grandparents were. You know, the common theme that we thought was living in an urban core and riding their scooters and skateboards around. Well, that's not really true. That's between 6 to 10% of the buyers. What they're really looking for is suburbia.
Really? Because I've always heard that walkability was a big thing for millennials, and that's kind of the way everybody was thinking. So that's not really the case anymore.
Well, it is and it isn't. You see, what they like is the concept of suburbia, but where they want it located is close by. You see, they don't determine how far something is in terms of miles. And even my son has said this. I asked him how far something was, and he said, "Dad, it's only a 20-minute Uber ride."
Oh,
so
makes sense.
Their measurements are a little different than the way that we've done it. So they want the concept and the feel of suburban living, and they need to be in a close proximity where they live, work, and play, but it's not the first criteria that they have.
Well, what about the type of housing that they're looking for? That's always a question too. They're looking for regular sized housing? Are they looking for smaller size housing? What types of finishes would they want in the house? What did you learn there?
Well, the big takeaway from that is the size of the house didn't matter. What it was the fixtures and the finishes. What they look for is, believe it or not, they're leaning more toward that clean European mod look these days,
Sleek.
which was, like mid-century modern is very popular with them right now. So they don't need a big area to live. But the area that they live in needs to be comfortable and it needs to be nice. They like open, bright, and airy.
That makes a lot of sense because that seems to be the new trends right now. What about as far as how they are going to be paying for these homes? Did you hear anything about that at the symposium?
Well, contrary to popular belief, there's already programs that are in place. The federal government provides CDBG block grant money, which provides our ship and sale programs, which has now started to take into consideration student debt. And it's finally time we start addressing student debt into home ownership. So I think we're in a very positive track as far as our state and national legislative issues go. However, we have a long road to go. You see, what they're wanting is the champagne taste on a beer budget.
Right.
So what we have to do as an industry is figure out where that happy medium is, because I believe that there is a compromise for them and a compromise us as an industry.
Barry, you mentioned that millennials do want the American dream. They want to buy a home. So how do we make that happen for them?
Well, you see, it's kind of easier than you think. There's enough research out there that has been done by third parties, people like the BIA, like the Realtor Association, and universities locally. And what we've done is we've already started the process. We've already had a seat at the table with Manatee County government. We've talked to building departments. We've worked with investors, landowners, and research through surveying the community. The process has already begun. What we need to do is put it together in a clear, concise message. So what I need is help.
You need help.
I do.
So do you have an idea in mind of what we can do to get you that help?
I do. What I'm really calling on is the stellar team that you have at the BIA to come together at the table. We need to assemble some members of the community to sit down and craft that message. You see, some of the far out thinking like 3D printing and tiny homes that we never thought we would see is happening.
It's out there.
You see, the information that we have is not the national weather forecast, it's a local forecast. These demands and these needs are happening right now. And there's great opportunity for business, and there's great opportunity to provide and be the providers of the American dream to those millennials.
That sounds so exciting that it's already started, and you did mention some of the newest and greatest ways to address these problems with the millennials and get them into homes. So how do they get involved to help you accomplish this?
Well, it's easy. They can call me, 941-920-5757, or shoot me an email. It's my name, Barry@barrygrooms.com, and we'll put a list together and we'll get you to work.
Barry, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Amy, thank you.